Dinosaur Adventure Land in Lenox, Alabama, December the 5th, 2023. Tonight, Exodus chapter 20, verse 16. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Don't lie about other people, okay? Bible's real clear. I'll show you in a minute, okay? Patrick Urish is going to be on the program. It was a Sunday night now we agreed on?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, it's about 7 o'clock Sunday night. If you want to get any health problems, call Patrick. Say, look, what do I do for this? My grandmother's, big toe is longer than her thumb or something. And he'll tell you what to do. Okay, let's see. Get us on Facebook. Now, we're not going to be on YouTube for Patrick stuff, okay? Genesis Baptist Church is our channel on YouTube, and Kent Hovind Official on most of the rest of the stuff. And you can click those little buttons there, and it does something to somebody somewhere. I don't know what it does. Anyway, you can join our services. Come visit us live. And you folks been here for, a week now, brother, from Ohio?
This will be, 3 days?
3 days, that's it. You already got that roof half done.
Almost.
Man, that was a worker. Praise God. Carpenter came, showed just in time, brother.
Okay.
We're live. Genesis Baptist Church, the old-fashioned, independent, temperamental, fundamental, right-wing, radical, chicken-eating, King James, Bible-believing Baptist Church. We think the Bible is inerrant, infallible, inspired. God preserved his word like he said he would. And we love science, and we love to teach others about how real science shows the Bible is true and evolution is dumb. God made everything in 6 days and told us so. We've got all kinds of videos, DVDs. Let's see, my seminar series, my Woe series, special messages on other topics, my introduction to biology, earth science, physical science, algebra. If your kids are struggling in any of those, this is entry-level stuff that'll get them started. They're going to say, oh, I understand it now. Let's see, basic algebra. Take away the mystery, physical science, biology, earth and space science. Get all that, lots of stuff on our channel, Dr.Dino.com, or call 855-BIG-DINO, extension 1. Talk to my wife, she'll answer the phone. Okay, studying God's 10 commandments. What if you break one? Well, what do you mean, what if? When we break one, then what happens, okay? Depends on your attitude toward it. He said, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. We're going to talk tonight about that commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness. Hoven translation. Don't lie about other people. It's almost always done to try to make yourself look better than the other person, to raise your social status. In England, they call it the tall poppy syndrome. What? Poppies are flowers, and if one flower grows a little taller than the rest, all the rest of them want to cut that one down so they look taller. Rather than start growing to catch up, just cut that one down. And so a lot of people slander other people and bear false witness because they think it makes them look better, okay? It started with Satan lying about God, first to himself, and then he lied to Eve, okay? Son of man, Ezekiel 28, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a god, I sit in the seat of God. In the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thy heart as the heart of God. See, Lucifer wanted God's job. Lucifer was created. He was one of the created beings, probably on day 1 or 2. We know he was in the Garden of Eden before the Garden of Eden was messed up. He was a good guy, I think maybe for 100 years. And Hoven theory, he got jealous of these people worshiping God and said they really ought to worship him. Because he was smart and strong and all beautiful and all that stuff. You can read the story in Ezekiel 28 and Isaiah 14. The serpent said to the woman, ye shall not surely die, for God doth know, in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods. He's lying to Eve because he's the one who wants to be God. Jesus said, you're of your father the devil, and the lust of your father he will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there's no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he's a liar and the father of it. Satan, the father of lies. See, God made a perfect universe. Satan wanted it. A lot of times when you build something really cool, somebody says, I'll be glad to take it, okay? When you earn a lot of money, people say, I'll be glad to come steal it, right? That's the attitude from Satan, okay? God made a perfect world. Satan wanted it. Those who can't make anything at all will lie about what you made to try to make themselves look good. Like, oh, that's a lousy creation. What's wrong? Why did you do that? Some of the atheists have whole channels trying to make fun of things God made and say, well, that would be dumb for God to make it that way. Because they don't know enough about anatomy and biology to understand the importance of why it is that way, okay? Satan's followers also bear false witness. You're of your father, the devil. There's no truth in him. He's a liar and the father of it. Jesus said, because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. Which of you convinceth me of sin? If I say the truth, why do you not believe me? Jesus was God in the flesh, didn't make any mistakes, perfect. And they slandered him. They bore false witness about him, didn't they? Exodus 20, thou shalt not bear false witness. Exodus 23, don't raise a false report. Deuteronomy 5, giving the law again, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. And Deuteronomy gives the law. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity or for any sin, if any sin that he sinneth. In the mouth of two witnesses, or at the mouth of three witnesses, shall the matter be established. See, one person can lie, but it'd be difficult for two people to lie exactly the same way. Judges and lawyers know this. If there's two or three witnesses, they'll cross-examine them and try to find contradictions in their story. Say, aha, see, one of them's lying, right? That's why God said 2 or 3 witnesses must testify against somebody. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify that which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, and the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And behold, if the witnesses be a false witness, and hath testified falsely against his brother, then shall you do to him as he had thought to do to his brother. So shalt thou put away evil from among you. So if somebody lies about his neighbor to try to be able to, his cow came over and, tore up my fence, and he's lying about it because he wants to get the cow or he wants money out of the neighbor. Then the judge looks at this and says, you're lying. You thought to get money out of him. You got to pay him that much money. Whatever you were trying to get out of him, that's what you got to give him, okay? A false witness that speaketh lies, God hates this. 6 things, Proverbs 6. A false witness shall not be unpunished. False witness shall not be unpunished. A false witness shall perish. All through the Bible, God hates this false witness thing. Lying about somebody else. Why? God takes it serious, okay? There was a man in the land of Uz, nobody that I know knows where that is, whose name was Job. That man was perfect and upright, and he God and eschewed, that means he hated evil. Old English word, eschewed, okay? And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. And his substance was 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 she-asses, and a very great household. So that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East. Okay, now what did God say about this guy? There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. That man was perfect and upright, and he feared God and hated evil. I'd say he's a pretty good guy, according to God's testimony. God said he was a good guy, and he had lots of sons and daughters and a whole bunch of sheep and cows, etc. So Job was this wonderful man, great guy. Before the flood came, the people lived to be 900. If you read the book of Job, Job had 10 grown children. All of them died in this problem you see in the book of Job. Then he had 10 more children and saw his great-grandchildren from his second generation of children, second batch. So I think he had to probably live, during this time when people were living to be, 400. It's just my guess. You got to live a long time to have 10 kids, all grown, all die, and 10 more kids, all grown, and see your great-grandkids from that batch. And then he lived 140 years and saw sons and his sons' sons 4 generations. So just my guess, the book of Job probably takes place before Moses gave the law, but right here, sometime when they're living to be a couple hundred years old. And a messenger came and said, Job, your oxen were plowing, the asses were beside them, and the Sabians came and stole them all. And they killed all your servants. And I'm the only one alone escaped to tell you. And the fire of God fell from heaven and burned up the sheep and the servants. And I'm the only one left alive. They carried them away. They carried your camels away. And your sons and daughters were eating and drinking in their eldest brother's house. And a great wind from the wilderness came, and your house fell down, and they're all dead. Job's having a bad day, okay? He lost all of his wealth and all of his family in one day. Then Job arose, rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshipped, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. That's amazing when you can have that attitude when you lose everything. Okay, I love you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you for letting me have it for a while. Then went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with boils from the sole of his foot to the crown. A boil is like the world's worst zit. Job is covered in them. So his wife turned against him. Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. What's the matter with you, Job? Why don't you curse God? Let him kill you. Now, the Bible says the wife should reverence her husband. Job's wife, apparently she lost her 10 kids too, And he said to her, thou speakest like one of the foolish women. Shall we receive good at the hand of God and not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. Job's a really good Christian. Well, good servant of God before they were Christians. Job's four friends came to him and saw their chance to make themselves look good by making Job look bad. It mentions three of the guys most of the time. It says he had three friends. Later we find out there was a fourth one. Job's three friends came. One of them was Bildad the Shuhite, one of the shortest guys in the Bible. That's pretty small, okay, Shuhite. God had said Job was a perfect man. These friends wanted that status of being perfect without deserving it. So they simply bore false witness against Job. Let's see, what did Eliphaz say? It says they came to comfort him. Right, okay? I don't think so. Eliphaz the Temanite said, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent. What's the hidden message behind that? Job, you must have sinned. You had to do something wrong, Job. You had to sin or God wouldn't do this to you. And if something bad happens to you, sure enough, one of your friends will come up and be glad to tell you, you must have sinned. You did this wrong or that wrong or something wrong. Here we know Job did nothing wrong. Bad things still happened. And his friends couldn't understand that, so they bore false witness about him. Job, you must have sinned. Then answered Zophar, one of the other guys. He said, should not the multitude of words be answered, and should a man full of talk be justified? In other words, Job, you're just talking. You deserve what you got. You should not be justified. Should thy lies make men hold their peace? Accusing Job of lying. For Job had said, my doctrine is pure, and I'm clean in thine eyes. Job had said, as best I know my heart, I am right with God. And he was. His friends didn't like that. Here's a man can go through trial and tribulation and keep serving God anyway when you lose it all. Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? There's none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man. He fears God and hates evil, eschews evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity. Hey, Satan, what do you think about Job? He's still holding his integrity because he's a good man. Then said his wife, dost thou retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. Job 27. God forbid that I should justify you. Till I die, I will not remove mine integrity from me. It's been 27 chapters of his friends arguing back and forth about Job, you must have done something wrong. And Job answered, I'm not going to take away my integrity. I know my heart's right with God. And you can have those times when people are accusing you and falsely accusing you and slandering you, and you know you're right. And they get mad at you for thinking you're right. Well, you're holier than me, huh? Okay. He said, let me be weighed in an even balance that God may know mine integrity. So the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind. You know, if a tornado starts talking to you, I suggest you pay attention, okay? And said, who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Hoven translation. Job, your four friends were bearing false witness against you. Ignore their counsel. Just keep trying to please me. God had said Job was a perfect man, but his enemies still slandered him, gossiped about him, and bore false witness against him. Enemies, nothing. Those were his friends. I bet the word got around that the richest man in the country, maybe even the richest man in the world, and they probably in the gossip newspapers all over the place. Did you hear Job lost everything? I wonder what he did wrong. I bet he was on, CNN, the Communist News Network, and ABC, all about crud, or whatever that stands for. Okay, let's see. When the people delayed to come down from the mount, and Moses delayed, the people gathered themselves together to Aaron and said, get up and as for this Moses, the man that brought us out of Egypt, we wot not what has become of him. Here Moses was the God-called leader. He's up on the mountain talking to God, getting the 10 Commandments, and the people down there are slandering him. He abandoned us. We don't know what happened to him. He left us. Okay. So Aaron said, break off the earrings, and he made a golden calf. What a dumb thing to do. Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman he married. He married an Ethiopian woman. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men that were upon the face of the earth. He wasn't looking for trouble. He wasn't asking for this. But his own sister and brother are speaking against him because of who he decided to marry. Well, Miriam, Aaron, it's none of your business who he marries, okay? None of your business. Shut up. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohab, a bunch of guys, rose up before Moses, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and Aaron. and said to them, you take to you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of you. The Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. Oh, Korah didn't like the way Moses was running the ministry, did he? I got a better idea. We should vote on it. Moses, I and my friends should vote you out of office. Oh, that's really what it means. Okay? Moses was the God-called leader, yet his enemies slandered him about who he married, his leadership style, dictating to every, he was the dictator. Okay? To all the people, and they gossiped about him and bore false witness against him and made YouTube videos about what a bad man he was. I added that last part. Okay? Did they have YouTube back then, brother? They did? Okay. King David, judge me, O Lord, I have walked in mine integrity. I trusted in the Lord, therefore I shall not slide. As for me, I will walk in mine integrity. This is all Psalms written by David, okay? As for me, thou upholdest me in mine integrity. Wait. Is this the same King David that lusted after his neighbor's Bathsheba, his wife Bathsheba, committed adultery with her, and then killed her husband to cover it up? And he's claiming to have integrity? I guess a lot of people gossiped about him and did false witness about David and told others what a bad man he really was. You know what he really did? Yeah, he already got 17 wives, and now he lusts after the neighbor's wife. He got another one. Well, the chief priests and elders, these are the people that are supposed to know the Bible and know the Lord, the preachers, and all the council, they sought false witness against Jesus. Wait, guys. You are the priests. You're supposed to know the 10 Commandments. You don't bear false witness. And now you're trying to hire false witnesses against Jesus. Why? To put him to death. Why? What evil has he done? They found none. Many false witnesses came. Verse 61, and they said, this fellow said, I'm able to destroy the temple of God. So they're going to pick on every word he says. They're going to watch all his YouTube videos, try to pick out a phrase here, a phrase there, and use it against him, aren't they? Yeah. And they sent certain of the Pharisees and the Herodians to catch him in his words. Wow. They're going to catch him. Yep. Somebody says something about homosexuals, and oh, wow, they get all butthurt about it. Okay. And when they were come, they said unto him, Master, we know that thou art true and carest for no man. I had to slip that in, brother. Okay. For thou regardest not the person of men, but teachest the way of God in truth. Is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not? Oh, now they're trying to trap Jesus over taxes, aren't they? Is that right? Yeah. Shall we give or shall we not give? But he, knowing their hypocrisy, said to them, why tempt ye? Bring me a penny. A penny, by the way, in Bible terms is a day's wages. Okay, so figure what, $100, okay? Bring me a penny. And he said, whose picture is on there? They said, Caesar. He said, well, if it's Caesar's, give it to Caesar. I've always said you should, if you pay a tax, if you owe a tax, you should pay it. I've never been a tax protester. But they lie about me and say that I am. I am not, okay? After these things, he went forth and saw a publican named Levi sitting at the receipt of custom. And he said, follow me. These were the guys working for the Roman Empire, a Jew working for the Romans. What a traitor. And Jesus said he could be one of his followers. Wow. So he left all, rose up, and followed him. Levi made him a great feast in his own house, and there was a great company of publicans and others that sat down with them. You mean Jesus was hanging out with bad people? He allowed, people that had a bad past to come to his camp? I guess so. Scribes and Pharisees murmured against his disciples, saying, why do you eat and drink with publicans and sinners? Jesus was the perfect man, no sin. His enemies still slandered him. Why? He ate with tax collectors and sinners. They wanted to tell him how to run his ministry and who his friends could be. They gossiped about him and bore false witness against him. They sought false witness against him. They said, this fellow said, I'm going to destroy the temple. No, he did not. He's talking about his body. He said, you watch, I'm going to destroy this body and raise it up in 3 days. Jesus, the perfect man, no sin. His enemies still slandered him, gossiped about him, called him a liar, and bore false witness against him. Jesus said, "Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist." Wow. Jesus said John the Baptist was the greatest man. Yet his enemies still slandered him, gossiped about him, and bore false witness and cut off his head. They didn't like John the Baptist. Does anybody know what John the Baptist's middle name was? John the. Okay. We found this man a pestilent fellow and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes. Who are they talking about? The Apostle Paul. Here they are accusing Paul, bearing false witness about Paul, one of the greatest Christians to ever live. He'd gone about to profane the temple, and we took and would have judged according to our law. I see. So the chief captain said, we brought him before you that you can examine him thyself, and you can take knowledge of all the things whereof we accuse him. Okay? Lysias came upon us and took him away. This is called bearing false witness. They're claiming that Paul was trying to profane the temple. No, he wasn't. He's preaching the gospel. But they're turning against him. Then Paul, after the governor had beckoned him to speak, he said, "Forasmuch as I know that thou hast been many years a judge unto this nation, I do the more cheerfully answer for myself." He said, "They neither found me in the temple disputing with any man, neither raising up the people, neither in the synagogues, nor in the city. Neither can they prove the things whereof they now accuse me." Good answer, Paul. Paul, one of the greatest Christians to ever live, wrote half the New Testament. He stayed faithful to the Lord even after being beaten and stoned. Yet his enemies still slandered him, gossiped about him, and bore false witness against him. Brother Meister, you ever had anybody bear false witness about you? Oh boy, huh? Okay. Acts 28. They said, Paul showed up in Rome finally, and he said, "Hey, do you know anything about our ministry we're doing for Jesus?" They said, "We desire to hear of thee what thou thinkest. As concerning this sect, we know that everywhere it is spoken against." You must be doing something right if everybody's talking about you bad. Guess we're doing a lot good around here, aren't we, brother?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got a few folks that don't even know us, but they talk bad. Okay. Unmasking the false prophet of creation. Jeannie Scott, this is about me? Kent Hoven? Jeannie, am I a false prophet? Let's see. His true agenda, is part of the religious right, and he really wants to undermine public schools. Now, Jeannie, you are lying. I think public schools should teach the truth. Evolution is not true. It's not science. Evolution should not be involved in any schools whatsoever that are tax funded. They should be in a private school. If you want to start a private school, go teach what you want. Your religion of evolution should not be in a public school. I'm not trying to undermine public schools. My brother retired from public school. My mother retired from teaching public school. I went to public school clear through 14th grade. Okay, so I just think we should teach truth in the schools. That's all. It seems Kent Hoven is a liar too. Wow. Creation gets a dash of anti-Semitism. What? They're accusing me of being anti-Semitic? Kent Hoven, creationist, liar, and evil, evil, evil. Whoa, I guess Phil, you're not biased, is he? No, okay. The simple believe every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. Better think about it. Could it be that somebody is bearing false witness? Kent Hoven lies about me. B.Z. Myers, I'll debate you any day. Bring it on. Come on. Have you debated this man? You may be entitled to compensation. Really? Kent Hoven is a pedophile enabler. Really? This is the kind of accusations we get. Do you think you're a narcissist? You're a punk? And here's the thing. Theo, God loves you, okay? 5 lies Kent Hoven is spreading. Lies and sexual jokes. Whoa, these guys are desperate. They're trying to get attention by sticking their name in the title, get them more views. Right, AJ? Okay, let's see. YouTube cancels Kent Hoven. You're real excited about that. Why don't you call for another debate? 855 BIG-DINO, extension 4. Joseph, book them, okay?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Whack an Atheist response to Emma. Feel like, well, Jesus was between two thieves, between two homosexuals here. Let's see. Why do people bear false witness? Well, they may really think it's true, okay? Or they're jealous of your popularity, like the Pharisees were of the crowds following Jesus, so they bore false witness about Jesus to try to steal his popularity. They want what you have, like Satan wanted God's creation. Maybe your righteous life makes them feel inferior, like Job's friends, huh? Maybe what you preach exposes their sin, like Paul. That's why they bore false witness about Paul. Huh? Judge me, O Lord my God, according to thy righteousness. Let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their hearts, so we would have it. Let them not say, we have swallowed him up. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at my hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Hey, if the world hates you, you know it hated me before it hated you, Jesus said. Marvel not if the world hates you. It's coming. Woe to you when all men speak well of you. I don't have that problem at all, so yay. Okay. Blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Wow, yay. Blessed are you when men shall revile you and persecute you and make bad YouTube channels about you and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice, be exceeding glad, for great's your reward in heaven. Thank you, guys, giving me all the extra rewards, okay? In the world ye shall have tribulation. Now, listen, being lied about hurts, okay? What should you do when it happens? Well, first, check your heart and be sure that it's not true. Maybe they're telling the truth. But if you're sure your heart's right with God, like Job, his 4 friends for 35 chapters kept telling him, Job, you had to sin, you had to sin. And Job knew he was righteous. He didn't know why his kids all died. He didn't know why everything happened. He didn't know why he lost his health. He didn't know. But he said, Lord, I love you. I'm going to serve you, even if I don't ever understand. So what do? If you're sure you didn't do what they accuse you of, you have 4 things you ought to do. Number 1, rejoice. You get great rewards in heaven. Number 2, defend yourself. If you'd like, do another YouTube channel against them. Or you can sit around and worry about it. Oh, wow, nobody likes me. Or ignore them and keep building what God called you to build. I asked Abe Lincoln one time. He had a lot of criticism. Abe Lincoln was probably the most criticized president we've ever had. Army officer asked Lincoln if he could write an article defending the administration against the attacks that were being made by the Committee on the Conduct of the War. Lincoln replied, if I were to try to read, much less answer all the attacks made on me, this shop might as well be closed for any other business. That's all I would do. Joseph, if I just simply read all the anti-Kent Hoven comments on the other channels, I'd be here. That's all I would ever do. I'd rather be giving tours and building stuff and doing things and preparing sermons and just ignore them. Okay. That frustrates them. Hoven, did you read my comment about you? You better read that. No thanks. Okay. Lincoln said, if the end brings me out all right, what's said against me won't amount to anything. If the end brings me out wrong, 10 angels swearing I was right would not make any difference. How many of you know all the bad things they said about President Lincoln? Where's all the critics go? All those bearing false witness. How many read the good things about Abe Lincoln and what he did and looked trying to be a pretty good president? Yeah, okay. Thou shalt not bear false witness. You know, lying under oath in court is very serious. Lying under oath is a serious offense, can result in imprisonment, fines, probation, problems with security clearance and gainful employment. Federal law outlaws subornation of perjury or the procuring of perjury by another person. The penalty for a federal perjury crime includes fines and imprisonment up to 5 years. If accused of lying under oath during proceedings in a capital felony, you can be convicted of a second-degree felony, punishable 15 years in prison. So, what should you do if you have been bearing false witness? I know you don't like when people bear false witness about you, but what if you're doing it? Some of you have been lying about other people. What do? Number 1, ask God to forgive you. Number 2, ask the person to forgive you, and maybe give them whatever necessary to correct the damages. If they hurt your reputation, maybe if you hurt somebody's reputation, maybe you should say, listen, I owe you some money. Can I pay you how much? How much would satisfy? Say, well, how much do you have? Double that and I'll take it, okay? Go to the others you told and correct the record. Try to undo some of the damage, okay? Learn and don't do it again. But if you're one of those that's bearing false witness, my suggestion is you do those things. By the way, Justin and Caddy gave me a Dinosaur coffee cup that when it gets hot liquid in there, it turns to the dinosaur skeleton. This is cool. I love dinosaur coffee cups. I had a really nice one and I broke it. So now I got my wife's, I guess it's a pink pony, and I'm kind of embarrassed. Okay. All right, comments or questions, and then we'll go. What do you got there, brother? Based on the available information, why did you conclude that a tiktaalik is just a fish? Well, tiktaalik is a fish with 4 short legs and then the fins. Other fish have that too, you know. I covered that on video number 4, I think, of my series, Creation Seminar series, if you get that. Why would you conclude tiktaalik is changing to something else? Because they find a fossil some fossils in the dirt of a fish that we know it was a fish. We know it had scales. We didn't have feathers. And we know it had short legs and then the fin, a little stubby leg and then the fin. It could swim. Okay. Why would you think it's transitional? Where's something transitional today? Why don't we see this evolution happening? It's always got to happen long ago and far away in a rock. I see. So yes, I think most people who studied this would tell you it's just a fish. Okay, holy holler. Wow. Off the topic. Half my life is off the topic, okay? When evolution books say we came from rocks, please, please, please read Luke 19:40. It'll make you smile. Okay, it helps if you put it on there. I don't know the whole Bible by heart. I know a bunch of it, but let's see. Luke 19, all right, there, Luke 19:40. And he answered and said unto them, I tell you, if these should hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out. Yeah, that's true. Good one. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. After my surgery, my family and I are coming to visit. I'm going to bring my good friend and missionary, Cecil Fayard, and Pastor Smith from Pine Air Baptist Church. Can't wait. Well, come on down. Now, you want to heal faster from your surgery? I suggest you go to, let's see, call Patrick. Guy's just a genius on nutrition. There's certain vitamins and minerals you can take to help you heal faster. Call him up. Put my screen back up, brother. Yeah. Right there. Patrick's phone number and email. Patrick Urish. IEH is International what? International Health Professional? Integrative Health Professional? I don't know. IHP, whatever that stands for. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Next one. What if a family member sexually abused their own child? Well, there are state laws on these kind of things. There are county laws on these kind of things. Sometimes the government should get involved, okay? Those are tough questions, okay? And sometimes that's why we have courts to decide what should happen. Okay. How are what the videos say are false? For example, Kent being close friends with P3Do. Honestly asking. Jesus was a friend of publicans and sinners. I have friends that King David was a murderer and an adulterer. I don't condone what they do. I don't condone any wrong that people do, even homosexuality. I don't condone that. I'll still be their friend. Should I welcome them here? Yeah. You're welcome to come. Come visit DAL. Okay? Okay. Let's see. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Oh, that's my title. Okay. All right. Tomorrow, Whack an Atheist. Is that right? Tuesday night. Today's Tuesday. Been a busy day. Tomorrow, I have to look at my list and see who's getting whacked. It's fun, though.